Is everybody in the groove? Well, stick around. We're just warming up, baby.
I think I've idled enough. Oh dear. Broke my camera. There we go. Okay. Hi, Ender. So, before we begin, I need to show something. This was the size of the box for Wally. This is the size of the box for today's project. It is considerably larger. I do have a number that tells me that this is 2,064 pieces. That's 64 is a fantastic number for this to end on. It's a lot of pieces. What I don't know is how many pieces Wally was, because it don't say. apparently, step 1, our first build is going to be creating this. I have no idea what this is. But it does indicate bag 1. So maybe, unlike Wally, this time they actually labeled the bags. Bag 11. Bag 9. They did! Oh, that's gonna make my life so much easier. I wonder how many bags there are. Let's find out. Many lots is apparently the... Holy crap. Many lots is the answer. Oh, wow. Okay, let's see. 6. I'm assuming this one with the 1 on it is probably bag 1. Probably, right? Oh god, there are so many bags. Holy dust. Hey, I'm still set to Terraria. Double check. I just pushed it through again. Now it says Lego? Okay. Wunderbar, thank you for letting me know. Oh my god, all of these. I'm assuming I'm gonna need this. That seems kind of important. Okay, so there are at least 11 bags. Frighteningly, there are also at least 2 bags marked 9. Oh. There are also 2 bags marked 1. That's not confusing at all. Okay, actually, I forgot that my camera is normally zoomed in to show me and not other things. So I've zoomed it out, so maybe you guys can actually see more than usual. Bag 1, plus big purple board. I'm going to assume that that's the purple board in question. Okay. Have water. I'm not listening to the same thing you guys are. There is a, across the street from where I live is a school. And, every fall, the school does a fall fair. And part of the fair is a stage with live bands, and it just so happens that the stage with live bands is right across the street from my house. So they get very loud, very heavy bass. I have no interest in it whatsoever, so I have headphones. That's going to be my first thing. I'm also looking for one dim. One a dim. We do one of those. We're also looking for... That's... Yep. See, I like this arrangement a lot better because I don't have to open up, 15 different bags to find what I'm looking for. I have one bag to hunt through. Maybe 2, because there is a second, well, 3. There's that. But, I have to hunt through significantly less pieces to find what I am looking for, which I greatly appreciate. Then again, this is a modern Lego set. I actually just got this off of the Lego website. Whereas the Wally set is from a... What? Hold up, I feel like I missed a page. I did miss a page. The Wall-E set is significantly older. I want to say 2011 or so. Okay, so we're looking for a weird white piece. That. I'm looking for tools. It's also a weird white piece. Also, man, these are pieces that I don't recognize. I've never seen some of these pieces before. I suppose that shouldn't surprise me since I, you know, have not been messing with Legos for a number of years. But, still. This piece, right here, this white one. The camera. Yeah. This one's kind of interesting. I would have given a lot as a kid. I would have given a lot as a kid to have a piece like this. Move my mic a little bit. Make this make a little bit more sense. Here we go. I would have given a lot to have a piece like this as a kid, because doing this sort of thing was always a trouble as a kid. Trying to figure that out. You know, how on earth was I going to make something like that happen? So the fact that they now have something like that, it's just very cool. And it's such a, you know, such a small thing, right? Like, you wouldn't think that that would be this big, you wouldn't think that would be this big, you know, change, or this big innovation. And part of you might think, you know, what took them so long to get this? Lego's been around for forever. That does seem like, you know, kind of one of those very innovative pieces that allow us to do a lot more with these bricks than we ever could as earlier children. Okay, it's in this bag. I was thinking recently, the other day, you know, about plastics and pollution and such. I've been trying, at least a little bit on my end, to minimize, you know, some of those uses. I can't, there's some stuff that I, you know, realistically, as I am as a person, I have trouble not, you know, accessing. But, you know, kind of wanted to minimize the amount of plastic I use. So part of me was kind of annoyed that Legos are becoming a, you know, a fun thing for me again, because these bricks are made of plastic. But on the flip side of that, Lego already is making some of their bricks out of sustainable stuff. And they have committed to going fully sustainable non-plastic materials by 2030. No, that's a good long time from now. Let's be honest with ourselves. You know, 2030 is not anytime soon. But they already have started to make some changes already. You know, I was reading through their website, and something like I think they said like 4% of bricks are currently made out of sustainable materials. And that's kind of more than I can say for a lot of other companies. So, you know, even though it is kind of a long ways out, and I understand they're probably trying to test things and, you know, figure out how can they make these pieces in such a way that, you know, they stand up to all the rigors that kids put them through. Oh, I see. You know, as much as LEGO is trying to reach out to people my age with some of these sets, there's this one I'm making right now, there's the chess set that I will be doing sometime in the near future. Maybe next week. There's that, there's the chess set, and then there's also, there's another Nintendo-based one that I'm probably going to end up buying next month or so. Yeah, they're trying to appeal to the adult demographic, which I completely understand, especially like me, who grew up on LEGO. But there definitely is, you know, tons and tons and tons of children that play with LEGO. And whatever these bricks are at the end of the day, they have to be capable of putting up with all the crap that a child is going to do. Children are not, you know, down for being careful. Especially when you're doing something like Legos. You know, you're gonna around and snap it, and they're gonna, yeah, they're not gonna be careful with how they're, you know, manipulating the bricks. Oh, I did this wrong. They're not gonna be careful about how they manipulate these. They're gonna be throwing them around. They're gonna be whipping them around. When they're going through to find the Lego they want, they're just gonna be digging and rifling through. When my family had Legos way back when, we just had all the Legos in a plastic tub. That's really all it was. It was just this big old plastic tub that we just kind of threw everything inside, because, you know, we weren't making kits. You know, we weren't. Sometimes, you know, every so often we'd get a Lego set that we would build, but it wasn't ever. We weren't following instructions for the most part. A lot of the times we decided we were gonna go build something, which is what Legos are great at, obviously. You know, that we went in and grabbed a bunch of pieces and decided we were going to make something, and I would build a spaceship or something like that, or I guess maybe. But we were just kind of just raking our hands through the box. And that was kind of all there was to it. It was just this, you know, pawing through. You know, no real, pieces. There was, you know, we weren't being careful with what we were doing or anything like that. There's another new one. We've seen a lot of flat smooths. We've seen, you know, these types of ones, at least I feel, were fairly new when I was a kid, with the one piece in the middle and a kind of offset how the studs are compared to a more traditional Lego piece. So those were always neat. But, you know, this red one, you know, this is new. The color in the camera is kind of off. It looks orange on the camera. It's definitely a red. It's probably washed out because the light on the camera. Nope, still looks red. But we saw these in the Wally build. Things in the front, very similar to that. Then we have this. That's kind of new to me. Again, very, very cool. One stud by one stud. Flat, smooth. Now, I've seen some pictures of this build fully built. Those web. So I have, you know, some idea of what the final product is going to make. But one of the appeals of this particular build is that this build's supposed to have secrets. You know, the pictures that they show on the website and, you know, front of the book and everything like that, that's not all there is to it. Like, you look at this picture, and you can already tell what I'm building has nothing to do with this picture. So this build is supposed to be a little bit different. It's not supposed to be face value. There's lots of little secrets and things that we're going to be doing with it. So I'm very curious. And, you know, we saw a little bit of this when we did the Wally build. And we saw a little bit of that. I don't know what this is building toward. But eventually we were able to see a good amount of, you know, idea of what it was that we kind of knew this was going to become an eye. These are treads, so on and so forth. I think it's going to be a little bit different with this one. I think some of the stuff that we're going to be building this time are not going to be quite as obvious as to what they're going to become. Because of the fact that this build is not only supposed to be, you know, it's supposed to have secrets to it. And I know what some of the secrets are because the website shows them, the booklet shows them. I'm not showing them to you guys, so I want you guys to be surprised. That's part of the fun. I think things are going to be a little bit different with this particular build. Okay, this is another. So again, I'm seeing a lot of these front stud pieces, which are very cool. And those are the pieces that we would have given, you know, anything to have. Okay, looks like we're moving on to something completely different. So this time, okay, so we are actually, okay. So from this page, what we can see, less so over here, more so over here. So this is the base of the block because these are going to be the corners of the block. So that's kind of, okay, so we got to find a lot of things. A lot of pieces going in. So we got 4 green, 6 red, 5 of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These yellow pieces. Again, very cool things. These, I'm sure we had something similar when I was a kid. You know, made specifically to get a specific type of you know, angle or whatnot. I'm sure we had these. I need a gray. Now we got 3 flats that I'm for. 2 yellow pieces that I see right here. I'm so thankful that in this build, they separated these out by bag. Would have sucked if they had not done that. Oh, I see how this goes. Oh, that's okay. Oh, okay. I'm kind of curious about the coloring here. So, you know, on top of these ones, we have a red brick. And on top of these ones, we have a green. And I'm kind of curious why there's a distinction. Because, you know, kind of from the basis of what I'm kind of seeing, from how this is going to look. So this goes here. So we got this coloration on the red and the green. And I have no idea why there's a coloration. And yeah, Zach, we are working on a question mark block from Mario. Looks like we're doing the exact same thing on the opposite side. 1, 2. 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 3, and 2.
Is everybody in the groove?
I mean, there's really nothing to see. I only just started.
We're just warming up, baby.
So the fact that you're not seeing anything, there's not really much to see so far. You've got, we've got kind of a weird base that we created. I'm not sure why. Like, I don't know what really this is. And then this is going to be kind of, I guess, one of the sides. You mean in the end? Well, so I mentioned this a little bit earlier, just before you came in. This build is significantly more than just a large question mark block. There's more to it, which you guys will get to see as we work our way through. Suffice to say, there is more to this build than meets the eye. The other side? This goes on the other side. check. I was worried about it. Okay. So, those are done. And it's kind of giving me an idea of how big the question mark block is going to be overall. Unless there's multiple sections this big, you know, long, which I don't think it is, because the question mark blocks are cubic. So I think this is going to be our width, you know, so on and so forth. Which is interesting. Building that base. Very much reminds me of the Wally build. Just in the, we're building a base before we do anything. Which, of course, you know, obviously you're going to build a base. But... where is it? Yes. So this is a little bit of that locking multiple pieces into place thing that we saw on Wally. Putting multiple layers of stress points in, so it makes it easier to kind of distribute the stress of building and of weight on multiple pieces. I wonder just how much how much architecture and math goes in they design sets. One of the things that I saw when I was kind of browsing, I found the last piece. I did not. So I'm just leaving as it is. I could reach out to Lego and tell them I'm missing a piece, and I'm sure they would send one. So I might do that at some point. But it's not a piece that you're very likely to see when you're looking at him, so I'm not too worried about it. Like, the piece in question is on the back. Or on the, like, really, like, on the side, and it's a small piece that is kind of not, it's not obvious. Well, you know, it's possible that I never got the piece in the first. It's possible that it was not included in the build. And that particular build is very out of circulation. It's not made anymore. So that's the So, you know, it's very likely that it actually just wasn't given. That's in the center. 4, 5, 6. might want to go. Yeah, there we go. That's centered, and I'm assuming it wants it to be centered. Okay. Brick 1. Goes here. Here. Both of them. Above. When did that happen? Oh. Oh, I missed a page again. I'm glad I kind of noticed that, you know, one of these things ain't like the other. Cause oh, evidently sold out. Okay, I see. Oh, we had already lost a piece. I was about to be very upset. Okay. There. There. These. Slide in. You guys can't really see what I'm doing with the angle this is at. But put in one piece here, one piece right here, and then the little curved piece. Yeah. Now we're looking for 2 blue. Oh. 2. I kind of find myself curious if the reason why there are so many colors is just to make it easy to differentiate what you're doing from what you've done previously. You know, make it easier to read the instructions. No, the more I think about it, the more I find myself reasonably convinced that that is why there's so many colors in here that you would realistically never see outside of the build phase. It's probably to make it, you know, number one, easier to read through instructions and kind of see what you're supposed to do. But also easier to look at what you're doing and see the interaction between. Very new. These are the Lego Technic Flick Tubes. that's what I think of them. They might not have anything to do with Technic, but I always think of these Lego Technic. Exactly these. Together. There we go. So what this is, it's just a fork. The tube on the end. It's just going into those holes there. These connections tend to be very, very hard to break once you put them together, which I guess is kind of the point. They're also kind of hard to put together. Welcome back, Zach. And then once you do that, these actually have stud connections on their end, which wants me to slide this in. It's kind of interesting. It wants me to slide it in. So it's supposed to go in and connect. Doesn't seem right. I can connect it there, but the picture right here makes it seem like the top of this would connect in, and it doesn't. So I don't know if it's just a weird perspective here. But based off what I can see, it looks like it's lining up correctly. There's just not a connection where I would expect a connection based off the picture. So I'm going to assume that's correct. You see there's a little gap right here between this long piece and this blue L. But on the picture, it kind of makes it look like they should be connecting, and they aren't. On this side over here, it's hard to do this in the camera. There we go. You can see it juts out a little bit. Just kind of a weird connection. Ah. We're getting to the end of the first two bags here. I don't understand the point of this. Oh, you know what? Never mind. I understand the point. So, okay, I see it. So I don't know how well you guys are going to be able to see this on the camera, but what it wants me to do, I put a red flat on the end of this blue piece. And what it wants me to do, right about where my thumb is, you can see that kind of blue stud right there. And what it wants me to do is it wants me to place the blue with the red flat. Like that. It's just like that. So what that does is that locks this piece in. Because this piece would have to pull out. And when it's pulling out, it's pulling against that blue stud I just put into place. And the red piece, it's basically just a washer, you know, like you would see on a screw or a bolt or something like that. Just a washer, just to get a little bit of extra space in there. I was kind of curious how they were going to handle these big long pieces, because it would be so easy for them to just come out, regardless of what they're attached to. But now, that's I'm putting a certain amount of force on this long piece here. That's stuck tight now. Like, that is really secure in there, which I find very interesting. So very, very cool design. That again makes me question, not question, but makes me curious what level of oh, there it is. You know, what level of, you know, like architectural design goes into these builds to come up with I think the phrase I've heard for is mechanical connections. God, that went places. Oh. Nope, now it's on. Okay. Yeah, I'm not putting a ton of strength against it. Fine. Okay. That wasn't that big of a deal. Let's try that again. There we go. Yeah, it's kind of interesting to see the kind of mechanical connections, how they use forces to work against each other. And this is interesting because this piece kind of spins and rocks. So I wonder if this is going to be kind of like a roller, or is it a hinge? You didn't miss much of Terraria. I did a little bit of farming this morning, getting stuff ready. Knocked out a little bit of work on bosses, and then I created a new world so I could go into that world and get some stuff out of the Crimson. So, you know, you missed me melting through the Crimson boss, the Brain of Cthulhu. You know, lots of just miscellaneous mining. Nothing particularly. At this point, most of Terraria is basically just going to be grinding, honestly. Those just being left to the side for now. Nope, never mind. Those I missed those. These go here. These brown arms, and they just kind of, I guess, hang tight until later. Okay. I did miss that. Okay, so we have 2 white window pieces. I remember these pieces from when I was a kid. Ended up using these types of pieces as much as a kid. Now it makes me curious about what they're going to use for here. Can you get both the Crimson and Corruption in the same world voluntarily? Yes, and in fact we did do that. It requires just a little bit of effort to make it happen. The problem though is that the world does not think that it has both Crimson and Corruption. Even though it has both of them, the world only knows that it had one of them. Our world knows it is a Corruption world. So there are certain things that can only happen in one of those worlds. For example, you cannot summon the Brain of Cthulhu on a corruption world, even if you have the spawn piece, apparently. I brought the spawn piece to the Crimson World for the Eater of Worlds, the big snake worm thing. And even though I had the piece, the summon item, even though I had the summon item, it wouldn't summon it. So apparently, you can't get the other one based off of whatever world you started with. So there is some stuff that I have to do in the Crimson World to get some items that are only available in Crimson. So this is interesting so far. So what I'm seeing right now with some of these pieces, we have a bay in here. You know, a kind of internal piece where something can sit. And back here, we have this archway and then this purple backdrop. So I'm kind of curious. So the front of this purple backdrop, this is a smooth. You know, it's similar to the smooth on these corners here, as opposed to, you know, the backside of these pieces or the normal studs. So nothing connects to this. So it makes me kind of curious, what is this meant to be a backdrop of? Because it reminds me a little bit of a stage. Okay, so we're running out of pieces here. Oh. That might actually be an extra, to be honest. Two. They might be intentional extra pieces. It's very possible. Want this. Also want that. And these are building a little bit of the front of the box. So we're getting a little bit of the bottom curve here. I can angle this a little bit. There we go. We're getting a little bit of that bottom curve to match the outside curve. Then these are preparing for, I guess, the front of the box. And this is interesting. So we have another piece that feels kind of weird. So this is a semicircle. It's hollow. And, so they're doing some mechanical connections here. So this holds this piece to this piece, and then this green one that was a little bit free floating. You know, it's not actually connected here. That green one now is connected to something in the front, so it's a little bit anchored now, and it's anchored to the yellow piece, which is connected to the blue piece, which is connected to this side construction. So anchored there. Which is cool. But this, I don't know what the purpose of these two semicircles. Those, you know, considering the other ways that we have built, you know, solid pillar style construction. There we go. In here. It makes these feel a little bit weird because they're not quite as sturdy because they're only connected at the very bottom, so putting any amount of pressure takes them off. They're definitely not as sturdy as some of the other options are. So I'm kind of curious why we have this really hefty built connection along the backside here of many, many pieces. But in the front, it's just these two semicircular pillars. Okay, so that section's done. So this piece is complete, and these remaining pieces are just extras. Go put these in the Wally box. Wally box will hold my extras. Well, it's not going to be Splatoon. So this this build is for Super Mario 64's 25th anniversary. Not going to be. Okay, bag number 2. That's also a 2. That's also 2. I'm gonna make a guess. There's only 3 here. Okay, so let's begin. I do like these bags the way that they've been done, because that means that I can get to the end of a current bag and just say I'm done for the day. I never found much of a use for these pieces with the holes in the middle when I was a kid. I will say they definitely now. Got red piece, reasonable yellow piece, 2 shorter yellow pieces, so something tells me, based off of how many bags there are and the fact that bag 1 there took me almost an hour. Not getting this all done today. Which is fine. I'm completely okay with doing this over the course of the weekend. This. I only wanted one of these green. Okay. That's fine. I thought there was 2. It's only 1. Here. Oh. Oh, this. Okay, so this goes on top of this. Oh, I see. I see. Blue circle. Purple. Yeah, if this is something that takes me all weekend, multiple streams, I somehow will be okay with it. Are kind of building a targeting ring here. Green on all four corners of the blue. The more I do this, not just this build, also Wally, but the more I do this, the more I think I'm on the money when it comes to why they use all of these colors when the end result is meant to be somewhat monochromatic. Now, I think I was correct when I said that they're meant to help you differentiate multiple steps of the build. What are you doing now versus what you did last? Able to help you look at, especially looking at the instructions, to figure out where do they put the new ones, the new pieces. 6. Seven. Where are you? 8. What am I doing with it? These are... One. Same thing on this side. End. I'm curious what this is going to become, though I'm looking at the next step. And I'm a little bit kind of curious about how... I guess a little bit of his... Why did they build it? Oh, I don't need... Not these pieces. These are not the white pieces. These are... It's these pieces. Like, for example, this blue piece right here. You know, this blue piece is 2 circular pieces stacked on top of each other. What I'm kind of curious about is why they chose 2 circular pieces on top of each other like this, as opposed to, you know, 2 square pieces with studs or something. Now, I'm just kind of, I don't know why they chose this blue circular piece. It saves, I guess, a little bit of plastic because you don't need that actual hard edge. And this next piece seems like a kind of an interesting choice. I get an idea of what they're going for here, but I find it a little bit weird. So they want these to go like this. And then these go like this. So it allows us to make a, there we go. It allows us to make a lateral connection between the gray here and these 2 side pieces. So I kind of get that, but, you know, you can do the same thing by putting these side pieces in here and then putting, like, the crossbar, like we do with this yellow here, or how we did back here. So I'm kind of curious why they chose to use, you know, this tube connection for lateral connection instead of doing kind of any of these other options we have. You know, part of it I'm sure is going to be the ending form factor. Part of it probably has some, you know, something to do with something like that, making it look right. They might not have had, you know, width or something, I guess, in order to put a cross piece across the top in order to secure it. But it definitely feels kind of weird. They're doing the same thing here. So instead of putting a cross piece across the top of this free spinning piece right here, they're connecting back in again with one of these tubes. There's a promise of yet another connection because I'm putting next two pieces in. This one I didn't. Excuse me. Really weird. We're already running out of pieces in this bag. Must be in this one. Yep, I hadn't had a chance to kind of review it yet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We need 10 of these things. 6. Back. 7. 8. Bag kind of didn't rip open nicely. 9. 10. Exactly as I want me to do. Wants me twice. Build these in like this. So usually when I see something like this on a Lego build, it tells me that this is a piece that is meant to press against another piece. Because these are flats, so no studs. So that tells me that this piece is meant to press against another piece, but not secure to another piece. So I'm thinking that this this panel might open. So we have you know, kind of these smooth, flat panels on either side. So this would allow me to kind of close a door, which is what I'm assuming this is becoming. This would be potentially a door that closes, but doesn't seal. I used to use stuff like this in order to make, you know, docking bays and landing pads and stuff like that when I was building spaceships. See, okay. So, they did do the thing I was talking about, where they put an extra piece here in order to solidify the connection between this gray piece and this white piece. So what I'm curious about is why they chose to use this type of connection as well, if that's meant for, you know, structural integrity, for example, or if there's more to it than that. So we're taking care of the corner now. We got a nice curved, not the the corner, yes, the side corner, not the corner. That is what you're looking for. Or there might be another bag. Thinking there's another bag. Not. Maybe it is one of these. Ah. That. Does not seem to be looking for these curved EMPs. It seems to be looking for a different one. So I have to assume it's in one of these other bags. So this bag has stud 1. Does this bag have? So there's a planted piece that I'm looking for. I don't feel like I'm seeing. It's definitely possible I'm just missing it. There's a lot of yellow here. And a lot of it has very similar form factor. Here it is. Yeah. Other one, opposite. So these go back here. That. Okay. Weird black pieces. Black piece number 1. Black piece for number 2. Okay, so what do you want? This. That. No. That. Opposite over here. I do appreciate the symmetry. My life easier. Because I understand how one side works. Got another side. Okay. Then we have white. On white. Okay, so now we have the curve. Where do those go? On white. There. That's going to connect all of that. So just kind of solidifying down this back piece right here. Slide where I need you to. Wait. I feel like I missed a step. Oh, it's not these. Never mind. It's not those. It's that. And that. No. Yes. Maybe. No. That and this. Yes. Okay. So that goes there. Goes here. And I can't say I feel really good about these two pieces right here. Because those two pieces are only secured by one set of studs, and if you pull on them slightly, they're just going to snap right off. Whereas these yellow pieces towards center here, each one is connected by 2 studs, so I can't just pull forwards. You'd have to pull up. Not too pleased by how flimsy that connection is. Hopefully, it'll never be an issue. Okay. Long brown. Long gray. Long yellow. That one. For yellow. Another yellow. For yellow. One, two. Okay. We have long. Okay, we're just kind of copying that kind of front there. These pieces, these really small ones here, I'm less worried about these getting tugged off because they are so tiny. I don't know, maybe I don't. Maybe I should. So this goes back underneath and connects on the what's that? This back panel looking pretty solid. Okay. One of these. 1, 2. Okay. So I guess now we're going to start building the question mark, kind of what it seems like we've reached. Let's just kind of glance right there. Here, cool. All right. Oh, okay. So now we're placing a bunch of stuff. Okay. So 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. 1, 2. Oh, nope, that's not right. How do we do that? Oh, we're still back here. Okay. Oh, we're gonna go. Okay, so we're still connecting a little bit, and we're still, you know, reinforcing some of these spots here, and reinforcing some of these connections. So, you know, putting failure points isn't the word I really want here. But we're putting in multiple. I don't know what force you would talk about. Multiple friction points, perhaps. Perhaps that's the word we'd use. But it's multiple stress points that multiple forces have to pull and be at odds with each other in order for this entire face to fail. So, you know, not only do we have these pieces together right here, but also this yellow piece is across the top. So we need a significant twisting motion to actually break all of the pieces apart from it. Piece E. That must be over here. That. More of these. Having trouble actually spinning it. There we go. Yeah. Okay, I need to have this facing the right way. Once this here. So it is really neat how all of this is lining up in order to, again, cross over. And it's crossing over multiple pieces, just kind of reinforcing. Six square. That one. Two. adjustment. It is very interesting that you know, a lot of these yellows are smooth or not. I think they're using the texture in order to okay, never mind. The next page shows what we're... I see. Okay. Gotta do this right, because if I screw this up, it will be a pain in the butt fix. White. Long. Do with these. So this goes across the top. Ah, see, that's what we're fixing. So what I just did is that when I press down, it separated a bunch of this stuff back here. So by doing this, it helps with all those stress points. Next, it makes the connections a little bit more secure. Okay. Yeah, that feels a lot less flimsy. Okay, so now 2 corners, 4 sets of 3, and then 2 studs. Okay, so the studs go in the corner. Okay, so these white bricks are not incredibly secure on here. Hopefully that won't be an issue. So they're, you know, these corner pieces are only being held on. Oh, if I put 2 by, never mind. That explains it. That explains what the issue is. I had to look at it again. Look at that. I actually am using brick remover. Glad they sent this. Makes this a lot easier. Okay. I have made mistakes. Okay. Big N. Small N. Bottom. Oh, that's what's wrong. There. Oh. These are wrong too. Nice. That is a good question mark. Here. Sure. And sure. Yes. Okay. Shush you. Rose. Shush. Don't need to be this. No, stop. You need to be this loud. Rose. Rose. Hopefully, the front has answered your curiosity about why some head studs and some didn't. Here. Guess this piece, blue piece, you're just not gonna see. Stand out pretty good. There. Just securing the back of this right here. Some of these did feel a little bit less secure than others. I guess it's kind of a good. Long ray. Still there. Around. That. That. Legs. Okay, so now we're connecting this to the main body. Something happen? Now? Let's talk about why Rose is barking. Rose was barking, as far as I can tell, because someone came. House. Okay, so from what I'm seeing, so this sits here. Heck, no. Remember how I said that these do not feel very secure? Yeah. So the room, if I can show the booklet showing me. So here's our bottom piece with our stage, right? So this front sits and connects right there. what they want me to do is they want me to take this. I'm trying to find a way to show this so you guys can see it too. What I'm doing, but I don't know if the angle of the camera is going to work out for this. So what they want is they want this brown piece go into the green piece there, through that, and I guess we're going to be putting something over that to make sure that these two long bits don't fall off for any reason. Okay, yeah, that's... You don't have a lot of other pieces, and it looks like what they're doing for the majority is just kind of securing what I'm doing here. So now we're going to be building over this corner. This top of there. This goes on the front of the corner here. It's like that. And now the pin that is in the side of this piece is now blocked. So that pin can no longer come out. It's just completely blocked. So kind of an interesting mechanical connection they did there. They didn't choose to secure that pin with anything else. So it's just kind of free floating there, kind of like a floating, a floating shelf. The shelf isn't secured except by the channels that is inside. And that pin is in much the same thing. The only thing securing it is the things that are blocking it from moving. So it's locked into place by other pieces just holding it. Kind of a interesting design there. Okay. Then we are locking these new corners into place. So what we just did is we put these corner pieces in, constructed these, and then put them into place. And then now we are locking those in as well. And then the runners that we built are sitting on those long I-beam pieces and just making this, I guess, move a little bit more fluidly. Interesting. Okay, moving on to bag number 3. There were 2 bag number 3s. Okay, so it looks like we're going to be back on the main piece here. The main stage, I guess, is kind of how I'm thinking of it. So we're looking for 2 long black pieces. That would be those. We are also looking for blue pieces. Or yeah, brown 1, brown 2. So where are these all going? So these are going across. Okay, so it's back over here. This a little bit, it's a little bit easier to see. So these are going across. So these are going to be, so brown goes on the corner back here, blue against its back, and the black goes all the way across. And this is going to, I guess, secure these semicircles here. But what I still don't get is the point and purpose of these two semicircles. I don't get what these are meant to be. You know, we're putting some effort into holding them in place. And there's, in this next bag I just got, there are more of them. But I don't know what they're supposed to be. I am looking for long gray vertical piece. Gray vertical. One of those, two of those. 2 gray verticals. This is our next. We'll go in the volley box. So you won't be able to see quite as much of the instructions, but you should be able to see more of the actual build this way. Thinking that's probably better. Pieces. This piece. One more gray piece, just that one. Is that it? That looks like it. Okay, a white piece sits on top of gray piece, and gray long piece goes on top of white piece. So we got a pillar of some sort. Not entirely sure. These, you know. Oh, was there? I missed a step. Too busy looking at what I was doing and setting up the camera. Completely. Gray semicircles. 1. 2. But I'm also looking for 2 green studs. And not gonna lie, I'm not seeing them. It definitely does not appear to be green studs. Ah, I see. There was another bag inside the 3. Okay. Don't mind pouring a little bit of this on my desk. Okay. The idea behind these is they sit of black beams. Semicircles go on the actual semicircles. Again, not really sure why we have these semicircle pillars. I'm also not sure why we have these white windows. You know, both of those feel kind of weird. Maybe a little bit flimsy. Well, no, flimsy's not necessarily the right word. The semicircles feel flimsy. The white squares, not so much. We're bringing out more semicircles. Okay. We just brought out 2 more semicircles. I still don't know what the purpose of them is supposed to be. I do find it a little bit odd, perhaps a little bit off-putting. So it's having me put a black this stud that I just created. So the stud combination, putting it inside of this semicircle. So something's going on there. Assuming we're gonna do the exact same thing on the other side. Looks like just kind of a, you know, I think this is kind of going along with those secrets of the block. Kind of, you know, we're making something that has hidden depths to it. But for the life of me, I can't figure out what this is supposed to be doing. Please, I'm looking. There it is. Adding that pillar right there. So what kind of interests me is that you can see it right here on this one. So that spot is inside of there. And like I said, what we typically see, if you kind of look at model real quick. So if you kind of look at it, these smooth blocks that we set up are set to touch right here. They're almost but not quite touching those pillars. And those smoothness, you know, you can kind of see it a little bit on the on these little I-beams down here in the bottom. That type of smoothness is usually where Lego pieces interact with each other. You know, if there's with a movement style, if there's a you know, if there's studs in the way, it's obviously not going to interact in a very, you know, smooth way. It's going to be a very bumpy way. So, you know, generally what I see here is there's going to be an interaction there. Either that front door is going to rest against something or it's going to press against. Kind of hard to tell which one of those it's going to be. There. Glue goes on top of it. Oh, okay. Because this it's gonna be that one. No harm, no foul. Where are these going? So this one. Going back here. That. Okay. So these are going in these corners. once again, this is kind of making me... Other one. This is kind of making me feel weird about the black pillars in front, because this is a multi-layered piece just to do a small corner up here. And then we have... Actually about to do some more of them. Got these black semicircular pillars that just don't feel anywhere near as secure or sturdy. Up this here. Yeah, we'll probably see soon enough. It's not something that I'm particularly pressed over. Honest. But it kind of weirds me out. You know, looking at this and going, how is this supposed to work? Once again, we are getting across. Yeah, I can already feel how flimsy this is. Just as I connect these kind of cross pieces. Definitely feels, flimsy. It feels like it's gonna fall over if I put too much pressure on. Whereas this corner here that I just put that on feels very secure. Crossbar here. Corner. I call it a crossbar, but it's really a corner there. Has a twin on the other side. You guys can barely see it because I have this set up. And then we are connecting connecting these two gray pillars that we made earlier. Connect those in. Two grays. Two white pillars. There are. Let's go. So the long gray pillars are going on the inside of our semicircles. So this at least makes me feel a little bit better about the semicircles, and that they are getting multiple layers of support here. So now it feels significantly more secure there. Okay, so now we've done more macro, so now we get to do some more micro. We're getting back to the nitty-gritty. One. Okay, so how do you want? So, making a guess that a lot of the pieces that are in place right now are meant to hold on the outside panels. Where we are, we're putting this little construction here with the three studs there. This goes and hangs on the front there. And then these red pieces are going to hang on the side like this. So definitely feeling like a bit of construction that is meant to, again, take the sides of the cube and hang them. Kind of going along with these yellow pieces here and here to make it so that way we can put the cube on there, so they'll kind of match along with that. And then we also have... Oh, we also have a fair amount of studs across the front here, which I think is going to be setting up for the corner that this kind of lies flush against. Two green studs. Looks like we're just going to be locking some stuff in here. So green studs. Red. I don't know if you can see it, but this is moving around a fair bit. Oh. Let's not connect. Okay. That feels more secure. That secures that. I like that several times I've mentioned this doesn't feel right, and I go and look and it doesn't feel right because it's not right. That's why it doesn't feel right. Because there's a little bit of a statement. Trust your instincts at least a little bit. Does it not feel right? Double check it. 2. Doubling up on the green studs here. Orange. Oh, okay, so we're putting gray bricks in the corner there. Then goes here. Again, it's smooth as opposed to studded. So once again, I'm assuming that something is going to lay on that, slide against it maybe. Whatever it is, it's not supposed to connect to the top studs that you see here. It has me very curious. Also, this is curious. So these all go like this. But the curious thing is how these red ramps tracks, they're all between these. Again, stopping anything from connecting there. But the way this is sitting, because we have these red ramps, they're making kind of a cradle. Something could sit there. Let's see. I need 2 dark plates. Okay, so this goes across the back. At the plates going across the front. Like that. So now we're looking at it I apparently missed a step back there when we attached the door, I think. No? Oh, I see. Okay. So what it wants me to do, it wants me to move this little blue piece right here up. Kind of hard to show. So what it wants is this blue piece to come up and come alongside the black piece there. And it wants us to do that. So now the blue and the black piece are now connected. Which allows the door to open a specific amount. And we have this other little box here, and I'm assuming this box inner rubber bands says that I should have. Rubber bands go around wheel, and from this wheel they go around that little knob we put in way earlier, like that. But I don't understand why that's necessary, because the front door, it doesn't, well, okay, it's for tension. It's to have it sit back a certain.
Is everybody in the groove? Well, stick around. We're just warming up, baby.
Okay. So I think that's to keep this closed. So I can open it if I want to a certain extent. It doesn't go beyond where I have it now. I don't know if that's an intentional thing. We have, as a small little fun thing, a small star goes right there. Not sure. Maybe that's what this is. Maybe you just open it to peek inside and you see the star. Okay, so now one, two, four. So we're building the sides a little bit up. How much other one? Oh, I see. Okay. So back to the box. So we're okay. So there. Same on the other side, even though you can't see it right now because the box is getting kind of large. Okay, so we have the basic form factor of the question mark box. Question block. Next. 3. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4. 12 long. There. Shorters. Also, corner, thicker corner. Okay. So this goes here. Oh. Dumb. It'll work the first couple. Oh. This piece. Ah, that takes care of one of the sides. So this here. That is another one of our side corner. Looks like we're doing the exact same thing again, just on the other side. That. Do it again. The other way. Come on, you. Lock in, please. Not want to do it. There we go. Gotcha. Gotcha. Okay. This goes in. Wait. Oh. Wait. that on there? This one went in just fine. I put this on the wrong side. I built it backwards. Fine, I can fix it. Gone completely on autopilot. Okay. Okay. See? Goes in. Flush. Now. Entire front looks mostly complete. Still some weirdness going on around here on the front corner, so I'm kind of curious what that's all about. But I trust that soon know what that's all about. Okay, wants us to have shorts. Oh, and we're taking care of those right now. Show this to you. That's what they want. Doing that. And that. And that. This still moves out. It's still able to open. And then we get more buttons. Sides still feel a little bit flimsy, but I'm assuming we're gonna else there soon. The more oh, we are also taking care of. I'm gonna go ahead and dump these out because we're almost done with this bag. We're also taking care of some stuff on the top. Which will probably take care of some of the flimsiness I just meant. No, not that. Right. Oh no, no, it is. It is. There. Actually, I don't know if this will do anything for the flimsy, because the flimsiness is a little bit further down. So we still got a ways to go before this thing is complete. We're at page 91 out of almost 300. We're about a third of the way through as of right now. So we got some time. Heads. Whites. Not Italy's flag. Again, I know this shows up as orange on the camera. These are very much red. Red. This. Take that. Same on the opposite side. At once, we got these two white little pieces. These are going on the inside. These corners. That. Yep, 270 total pages. This instruction book. green, gray, back the gray. These are grays that have the front-facing thing. So again, I think these are mostly here. These constructions we just did, mostly here to hold on to the exterior faces. Goes across the top. Now the construction has a little bit more. First, second. I don't know yet what the point of this construction is. So, specifically, kind of slopes that you see there. Done that multiple times in this build already. I don't see the reason behind them. Round one. Uh-oh. Up there. This is kind of an interesting thing. This goes here. Goes here. And it's across there. Oh, wait. Nope. I lied. Across there. And oh, that fell off. There we go. Okay. Nice. I think I'm gonna stop there for now. Sounds like family has dinner. Go join them. So when I come back, which may or may not be tonight, I will put an announcement out if I come back tonight. But we'll be moving on to bag 4. Extra pieces. Wally box. Yeah, so about 2.5 hours or so. 2.5 hours got me to page 100 out of 270. So feels like we we made some distinct progress here. We have end of all of this. We do have something that looks, at least on one side, like a question mark block. But else it could be question.